मेरे बच्चे को मेरे बच्चे को बचा लो।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has spoken out. He spoke at a rally in Bihar. This was his first speech, first public statement after the ghastly 𝗪𝗏𝗀 massacre day before yesterday. The message from the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, is loud and clear. The message is absolutely unmissable. This was the sternest warning that India has ever given to Pakistan, and that too has come from none other than Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, punishment will be beyond imagination. That is the word he used. Punishment will be beyond imagination. The Prime Minister said, we will destroy the entire ecosystem of terror. He said, this time to end their ecosystem has come. India will identify the threat. Terror will not go unpunished. He said the soul of India has been attacked. Referring to the Pulwama massacre, referring to the 𝗪𝗏𝗀 massacre where 28 innocent tourists were killed. The Prime Minister said, described it as an attack on the soul of India. The Prime Minister decided to speak in English. He switched to English midway through his speech. He said, we will pursue them to the end of the earth. Terrorism will not go unpunished. Every effort will be made to pursue justice. Everyone who believes in humanity around the world are with us. The Prime Minister began his address after switching over to English, he began by saying, I say to the whole world, India will identify the threat and punish every terrorist, and we will pursue them to the end of the earth. Viewers, this is the most strong statement. This is the strongest ever statement that India has given out to Pakistan, and coming from none other than the Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself, it means a lot. I have with me Lieutenant General retired 𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗪𝗏𝗀, former Eastern Army Commander, joining me from Guwahati. From Pasighat in Arunachal Pradesh, I am joined by former Group Captain Mohanto Panging. With me also is Colonel 𝗙𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗃, well-known defense analyst. Gentlemen, welcome to this broadcast. The Prime Minister has given an unmissable warning to Pakistan for the first time after the 𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗪𝗏 attack. General Kalita, what are your thoughts?
See, the type of ghastly incident that took place on 22nd April at 𝗪𝗏𝗀 definitely deserves a strong and resolute response from our country. Because like the Honorable Prime Minister had mentioned, this attack is on the soul of India. It is on the basic concept of Indianness as a nation, as a nationhood. So this is basically and it strikes the very confidence of the nation to deal with the internal situation in Jammu and Kashmir. So definitely a strong, extremely strong and resolute measure was called for, and a beginning has been made by taking certain diplomatic measures which were announced after the CCS meeting, Cabinet Committee of Security meet of yesterday, which included the Indus Water Treaty being held in abeyance, which, for information of everyone, was not done even during the 65 and 71 war, or even during the Kargil war. This holding in abeyance of Indus Water Treaty was not done.
Right.
And apart from the other slew of measures, but as far as hunting down the terrorists is concerned and their backers are concerned, and including their handlers and the people who have backed them, that is Pakistan, they have to pay for it. There are no two ways about it. In what form, in what scale, at what point of time, that is for the policymakers to decide.
Absolutely.
But a response there has to be.
response there has to be. We'll develop on this. Let me go to Group Captain Mohanto Panging. Group Captain, how do you see the Prime Minister's speech? Because after that cold-blooded murder of 28 innocent unarmed civilians in Pahalgam day before yesterday, the chorus across the nation was that everybody, from the common people to political parties to everybody, was saying that there has to be decisive action and direct action on Pakistan. And everybody was waiting for the Indian government to respond, and we have heard it today from none other than Prime Minister Modi himself. He said that punishment will be beyond imagination. We will pursue the terrorists till the end of the earth, and he also said that whatever land, whatever area is left for the terrorists, we're going to destroy them. What do you see? What do you make of this strong wordings by the Prime Minister?
Namaskar. I start my talk by paying condolences to the 26 lives that we have lost in these dastardly terror attacks in Pahalgam, in which we lost a fellow Arunachali air warrior also, who hailed from zero. Can you imagine a guy from remote northeast, Arunachal Pradesh, losing his life in Kashmir?
Yes.
On line of duty. And we also lost a naval officer who has recently got married, and 21 others. Now let me applaud the Prime Minister for voicing the opinion of 1 billion Indians. Everyone thought that something has to be done to wipe out terrorism, and the Prime Minister spoke it today in Bihar. And we all feel that the Prime Minister has taken the right step. According to me, this kind of dastardly attack has to be sorted out and nipped in the bud. So all forms of actions are open to us, including diplomatic actions, including economic actions, and including military actions. And options like Uri, the surgical strike that was carried out, is always open to us, but we will do it at the time and place of our choosing. And we must respond, and its time has come to wipe out terrorism from India. That is my opinion, and I must applaud the Prime Minister.
Time has come to wipe out terrorism from India. That is what the Prime Minister has also said. Colonel Divya Bhattacharjee, what are your initial thoughts after hearing the Prime Minister?
The mood of the nation today is that enough is enough. Terrorism has no place and it has to be wiped out. Now, coming to the Prime Minister's speech, it is seen that the Prime Minister, as you mentioned, has switched over to English also. That means this speech was not only for the domestic audience, but it was also for the international audience.
Right.
I feel, as an initial thought, that terrorism in which insurgents from across the border tried to terrify India has to be wiped out completely. In fact, our reaction and what I can gauge from the Prime Minister's speech is that it is time for the terrorists to be terrified now.
Time for the terrorists to be terrified. You see, last night, viewers, after that crucial meeting of the Cabinet Committee on Security, the government of India has decided 5 major things. Now, the Indus Water Treaty has been kept in suspension. That has been suspended. The integrated checkpost at Atari has been closed, and nobody has been allowed to cross the Atari border. Now, Pakistani nationals have been asked to leave India within 48 hours. And SPES visas issued in the past to Pakistani nationals are deemed cancelled, and anybody and SARC visa exemption scheme has also been terminated. The defense, military, naval and air advisors in the Pakistani High Commission in New Delhi are declared persona non grata. They have been asked given a week to leave India. Some of them have already left India. Actually, we have those visuals of some of the Pakistani diplomats leaving India today. So, if possible, I'll request my producers to show those things on the screen. And Atari border has been closed, and India will be withdrawing its own defense, navy and air advisors from the Indian High Commission in Islamabad, and the number of personnel in the diplomatic missions, Indian missions in Pakistan, will be reduced. Now, these are the steps already taken by after yesterday's meeting of the Cabinet Committee on Security, and today we have seen the Prime Minister given the strongest ever warning to Pakistan. General Kalita, now we have seen post Uri, we have seen the surgical strike. The mood of the nation is one of anger, and we have seen the visuals today, whether it is from Zero to Pune to Orissa to everywhere. The bodies, the last rites of the people who lost their lives are being carried out with full emotion. There are hundreds and thousands of people gathered everywhere. We have those visuals on the screen. General Kalita, your thoughts in the days ahead, what do you see?
See, firstly, we all agree that there is anger among all the Indians today after the disturbing visuals which we have been seeing since 22nd April. So the Honorable Prime Minister's speech is a form of reassurance to the nation that India stands strong, India stands resolute, and we will take strong action and resolute measures against the perpetrators of this crime, wherever they are, including their handlers. So this is the reassurance to the nation from the Honorable Prime Minister. And I think it restores the confidence of me as an Indian on our government and our capability and intent. It also signals the intent of the government and as a nation to take whatever it takes to teach a lesson to the terrorists and their handlers. So that is the signal I am reading in the Honorable Prime Minister's speech. Now, in what form they are manifested on ground is something we will have to wait and see. Post Uri attack, the surgical strike was carried out. Post the Pulwama attack, Balakot airstrike was carried out. It may be larger in scale than that. In what scale and in what place and in what time, that I will leave it to the decision makers and the policy makers to decide. Definitely, the Honorable Prime Minister's speech and his utterings reassures us that strong measures are in the offing.
Right.
And they will definitely be taken.
Okay, absolutely, I agree. 100% with what you said, General. Group Captain Panging, one thing. Now, the terrorists are, the staging area for the terrorists is obviously Pakistan. They are Pakistani nationals. They may be having a few of their handlers within our country also. Those also people needs to be identified. But my question to you, Group Captain, do you think the country that is backing, aiding, arming and supporting these terrorists need also to be taught a lesson? It's not just the terrorist alone. It is the host, the people who are hosting the terrorist in their home country. Don't you agree with that?
Absolutely. And one more thing, let me remind the viewers that this incident has come just few days after that vitriolic speech by the Pakistani army chief. Absolutely immature speech by the army chief, which doesn't stand to his position. He just attacked India and the Hindus left, right and center without any reason, without any logic connected to it. And this, we can say that this Pahalgaon incident was instigated by that speech by the army chief. And definitely we need to take action against terrorism, and we need to wipe it out, but also we need to also sort out the sympathizers within our country. People who are supporting them in letter and spirit, they also need to be found out. And we also need to get behind them, find all of them out and sort them out one by one. Because the world must understand that this is the India of 2025. We are not the India pre-2014. I myself was commanding a squadron when the Mumbai attacks took place, a Sukhoi 30 squadron in 2008. And we were deployed for 1 month to do the same surgical strikes. But that time leadership didn't give us a go ahead. But the present leadership is not like that.
Absolutely.
हमसे पंगा लिया, हम आपको बजाएंगे.
पंगा लिया तो बजाएंगे. कर्नल भट्टाचार्य, that is the mood of the nation. पंगा लिया तो बजाएंगे, बजाना ही चाहिए.
Yes, I fully agree with that. Now, let me say one thing. If you see, the first point which I would like to make is General Asim Munir. During the Pulwama attack, he was the DG ISI. That same person is today the Pakistan Army Chief. Why I'm making this point is that the thinking, the character of a person does not change overnight. We might have different outfits, different names will come up, like the Resistance Front, Indian Mujahideen, Hizbul. All these names are, but let us go to the root. And the root is the Pakistan state and the Pakistan army. Therefore, I feel that it is the right time where we ensure that the Pakistan state does not resort to such acts ever again. And for that, like in your sister's channel, I had mentioned yesterday, the cancellation of or the suspension of the Indus Water Treaty, because it is such an unfair treaty wherein 80% of the water goes to Pakistan. And, this, although it has stood the test of time, however, there is a requirement of revisiting further additional measures, both diplomatic, social, and military, which
Right.
will affect the Pakistan deep state comprising of the Pakistan army.
Right. General Kalita, after this comment from you, I'll listen to what the Prime Minister himself has said. Now, General Kalita, if social media posts are to be believed, even the Taliban from Afghanistan has condemned this Pahalgam attack, the killing of innocent unarmed tourists. Now, not to speak about the whole world, the entire international community has expressed its solidarity with India at this stage, and if social media posts are to be believed, even the Taliban has condemned, and we all know what the Taliban did to its own people. General.
Yeah, you see, Taliban earlier, whatever it did against the Russians or the US forces, that is something what they did to achieve their aim of ruling the country. But if you look back in last couple of years after the Taliban has taken over the reins of Afghanistan, though they are continuing with their Islamist or more fundamental approach towards governance and frame rules against women and others. But the relationship with India was in a path of normalization. India has started again investing and started constructing those things which were in which India were investing earlier as well.
Right.
So that sort of, some sort of relationship was coming up. As also we have seen, Pakistan is having a huge problem with the Taliban along the Durand line, along the western border of Pakistan. In last 1 year itself, there has been frequent confrontations and casualties caused by both sides on each other. So Taliban is basically fighting the Pakistan now because they are realizing that the Pakistani government or the Pakistan army, which runs the government, their possible policies are not in interest of Afghanistan itself.
Right.
So it's no surprise that Taliban is, condemning the incident of such gruesome murder, which has been undertaken at the behest of the Pakistan army.
Absolutely. I'll go to Mohanto Panging, Group Captain Panging, but before that, let's listen to what Prime Minister said at that Bihar rally. Extremely strong speech by the Prime Minister. Let's listen to Prime Minister Modi.
ये हमला सिर्फ निहत्थे पर्यटकों पर नहीं हुआ है, देश के दुश्मनों ने भारत की आत्मा पर हमला करने का दुस्साहस किया है। मैं बहुत स्पष्ट शब्दों में कहना चाहता हूं, जिन्होंने ये हमला किया है, उन आतंकियों को और इस हमले की साजिश रचने वालों को उनकी कल्पना से भी बड़ी सजा मिलेगी, सजा मिलकर के रहेगी। अब आतंकियों की बची खुची जमीन को भी मिट्टी में मिलाने का समय आ गया है। 140 करोड़ भारतीयों की इच्छा शक्ति अब आतंकी आकाओं की कमर तोड़ कर रहेगी। टुडे फ्रॉम द soil of Bihar, I say to the whole world, India will identify, track and punish every terrorist and their backers. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth. India's spirit will never be broken by terrorism. Terrorism will not go unpunished. Every effort will be made to ensure that justice is done. The entire nation is firm in this resolve. Everyone who believes in humanity is with us. I thank the people of various countries and their leaders who have stood with us
Right.
in these times.
Right. So, Group Captain Panging, you've heard the Prime Minister once again. Now, message is loud and clear. Now, my question is, he has addressed the international community, and even as we speak, another thing I would like to bring to the notice of all the three of my esteemed panelists is that there is spontaneous strike, bandh in Kashmir Valley, which was not seen in the past. Group Captain Panging, first your response to the tone and tenor of the Prime Minister's speech and the spontaneous bandh in the Kashmir Valley.
Yes, sir. Sir, if you collect statistics, you will realize that 2 terrorist incidents sponsored by Pakistan, India has lost more lives than we lost in 1965 war, 1971 war, and in fact, including the Kargil, we have lost more lives, and every year we are losing innocent lives, bystanders, innocent Indians to these terrorist activities sponsored by Pakistan. How many more lives will we lose? And even in Kargil, though we celebrate Kargil as a Vijay Divas, we didn't go inside Pakistan occupied Kashmir. I think, as per what the Prime Minister says, time has come to redraw our original Indian map and occupy Pakistan occupied Kashmir. This will teach a lesson to Pakistan that we will take back what we want and we'll hit you when you want.
Right.
And then spontaneous bandh in Kashmir. See, after the abrogation of the Article 370 and the dissolution of the constitution of the so-called J&K, and after it was made into an Indian territory, tourism had picked up. Peace had returned to the valley. Business was prospering. Tourism was growing. And I believe this year it was supposed to have been a record number of tourists visiting Kashmir. Everything has been destroyed by this state-sponsored terrorism, the single attack at Pahalgaon. And that is why the locals also feel that this is a very wrong and heinous act committed by the terrorists.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me turn to General Kalita. General Kalita, you know, in India, as I said, after the CCS meeting yesterday, 5 major decisions were taken. But after today's speech by the Prime Minister, can we take it as an indication that some kind of a military action may also follow soon?
Yeah, obviously, because I think that's the need of the hour. That's what the 1.4 billion Indians are asking for. because, like it has been stated, that it's an attack on the concept of India as a nation, on the soul of a nation. So unless we respond militarily, the Indian will never be respected again as a nation in the world, because we have to show our strength. India is not like it used to be in 50s and 60s. We are a growing power, and we have our own economic power, military power, and political power.
Right.
And our will of the nation is there. The intent is there. So definitely, but like I said earlier, in what scale, the scale of the retribution, and at the place and time, that will be decided by the policymakers.
Absolutely.
And in times to come, I'm sure that's something which has already been talked about in the Cabinet Committee of Security.
Yes.
And which will be executed as per the plan.
Very, very briefly, Colonel Bhattacharya, the punishment will be beyond imagination. That's what the Prime Minister said. What do you make of this? Very briefly, I'm running out of time.
Yeah, briefly, I'll just give 2 points. Number one, I was talking to one of my contacts in Kashmir. He is a shikara owner, and I'm talking of the position on the ground. For the first time, there has been a spontaneous burn throughout the valley. The locals have been affected because in 2020, from 35 lakhs, in 2025, tourism has grown sevenfold to almost 2.5 crores. So tourism, which is the primary industry, and people are surviving on that, they are going to be affected. So the local sentiments are also for taking action, and I am speaking from the ground.
Absolutely.
Number two,
yeah.
As far as the issue of action being taken, I expect that besides diplomatic action, there will be various other actions, including possibly a strong military action.
Absolutely.
At some point of time.
We will have to wait.
It will be at the time and place of our choosing.
Absolutely, no doubt about that, Colonel. Now, absolutely, this could be there's a tectonic shift in the mood of the people as far as Kashmir Valley is concerned. This tectonic shift is something which we have not seen in the past, and I hope this is going to be a turning point. As the Prime Minister said, the retribution or the punishment will be beyond imagination. We'll have to wait and watch how India acts in the next few days and weeks. At the moment, the mood of the country is one of somber at the death of the innocent civilians who were on a pleasure trip to Kashmir, and of course there is call for decisive action. Thank you.
मेरे बच्चे को